So does Sarah Weddington appeal to her ethos or to her character? Well, yes, Sarah Weddington is a woman and she's talking on a distinctly woman issue of abortion and pregnancy, but I think by and large she doesn't touch on or appeal to ethos to send her argument through. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing because she's in a Supreme Court and this is an issue about Roe versus Wade and not about her case as a woman. And I think that's important to note because if it's not her case as a woman, she needs to focus on a general case rather than her specific case that she can conjure up through her own appeal. And that by arguing a general case and a logic-based case, I think it's more fitting in a courtroom rather than trying to appeal based on, again, her own character. But I think this ties into her most effective one, which is logos. I think when she talks about logos, she does talk about it comprehensively, and she talks about the lethality of abortion, and she heads off that argument from the pro-life side saying that no, pregnancy is in fact safer, abortion is in fact safer than following through the pregnancy or an illegal abortion. And then the same thing, she talks about doctors, and she said doctors will never approve of abortion and will never support it, and she says no, in fact, doctors even in Texas do support abortion. But she also touches on why I believe in her side, which is why should abortion be legally available to women. And she talks about these measurable consequences, and I think this is a very powerful logical appeal about talking about how abortions have a measurable effect on these women in school, in work, and how if they had the ability to have an abortion, then all of these things could be avoided and they could live a more full life. And I think this ties back to her final case, which is her final case for Logos, which is her appeal to the Constitution. And she talks about how these people have a right to privacy. And I think this ties back to some of the inspired criteria that we have talked about earlier, where she talks about how people can inspire through a historical basis. And she talks about this Ninth Amendment, and she talks